Alright, we're gonna do this. So, I wanted to do commentary to a solo Night Marsh run, mostly to compartmentalize my thought process when I play this game. I'm really enjoying Marathon, but I typically don't run solos, much less play Assassin, so this is very different. So I spawned in the middle of the map, algae ponds, but I need to get to bio research. Off the rip, I hit a cardio kick. I didn't really need to because I start off with, I believe, a minute's worth of cardio kick from the jump off. But it is what it is. I also energy amp so I can get my cooldowns a lot faster. Again, I don't play Assassin a whole lot. I mostly play Recon. So I'm being extra cautious here. I'm going to run to Greenhouse first. Mostly just to listen for other players. See if I can jump them before anybody gets anything started. You will notice a couple of edits here and there, and that's because I hear footsteps at one point. I hear two sets of footsteps and nothing ever interesting happens from it. It's just me walking around Greenhouse, occasionally hearing somebody, opening doors, and I just never found these guys. So, pretty much I'm listening for gunfire, I'm listening for bots, I'm listening for zombies, and I can hear gunfire. This is when I hear gunfire at Greenhouse, so I go invisible, and I run over there, but I skip about 9 minutes of footage. So, running over to my objective now, my first objective at bio research, I'm trying to avoid the boss that spawned in too. That's the big reason why I just didn't stick around Greenhouse. So there's a really quick edit here, just because I kind of fuck around and listen for more footsteps, and I rotate directly into bio research. This is a pretty easy quest, but I've just constantly been taken out by other players the last second at exfil, so it was kind of frustrating. I figured I'm gonna go Assassin and just do this myself. Yep, this is the first exfil of the match, if I remember right, and I think that was guarded exfil. Hear zombie screaming, but I think that's just ambient noise. It's not somebody actually triggering one. And I honestly don't use the flashlight often. I've gotten used to navigating these phases pretty well since they introduced this mode. So I'm closing this to give myself an insurance, and I'm just going to do the thing. But yeah, mostly I play with teams, backfill, or I play with my homies. So I got the objective. And I believe I'm the one who set that alarm off, so I go invisible again just to get out of here. I don't like attracting any additional attention. My mentality when I play this game is that Marathon is a resource management game. You know, I want to make sure that I have my cooldowns ready. I want to make sure that I always have ammo in case of a fight. I set off those here. Yeah. But I'm somewhat protected by the roaming boss from earlier. So if anybody tries to push me, like there's zombies behind me, anybody tries to push me, they'll probably alert the roaming boss first. So I'm just checking it out, and I wanted to make sure my invisibility cooldown is ready again, because I'm about to do a long rotation across the map from east to west. Night Marsh, I've found most people just rush complex these days.
A convoy has deployed.
So I just want to be on guard. Yeah, I see a roaming bot ad there.
Time to hunt.
Here we go. I'm gonna go up to Greenhouse, and I figured most people have left by then. I would have heard the key door to any of the lock trigger rooms by now. Just poking around, because this is where I heard those footsteps 10 minutes ago. I'm just being overly cautious. That's something I need to get over playing Assassin. I typically don't play like this when I'm using Recon. But again, I'm playing close to the walls, listening for footsteps. I hear one of those UFO drones, obviously. And one thing I do, I should be doing more of, I've noticed this, if you run across the barriers, it makes less noise than your standard footsteps. Oh, I should mention at this point, I have 0 certs. I have no golden cookies or certs to activate any of the exfils or open any treasure chests, so I think I reminded myself of that at this point. So I'm scoping out bot ads and any other players who might be poking around. Decided not to hit the TAT again. I didn't want to expose myself because I still am only halfway to where I need to get to for these second part of this 3-part single run contract. Go invis once more, drop down, and I'm rotating over to intersection. But again, I gotta get golden tickets, so one thing I'm noticing is that the drop rates for golden tickets is much lower since I think 2 weeks ago, or since I think they got rid of the solo sponsored mode, which I think is honestly a good thing. So again, I'm just poking to see if anybody is tailing me. I'm checking the rooftops. I'm checking out the buildings inside the intersection to see if the gates are down or if any windows are smashed. See if anybody maybe got the weapons caches. And again, I'm actively listening for anything out of the ordinary while I'm waiting for my cooldown. I'm planning my next move. Again, taking a look at the rooftops up there. I have a longish scope weapon in the B-77, and I put attachments on that to mitigate the insane recoil that gun has. Try to go for the blue vertical one. I think that drops it down significantly. Yeah, I'm just gonna run through these guys. I don't want to mess with them. I don't want to stall out because the last time I did this run, I was at the same amount of time. Maybe I had like 9 minutes and I missed my exfil. Looking for certs to get out. Now these two, there's going to be 2 grenadiers coming up, and I like to go after those guys if I need certs. When they were doing sponsored solo, you almost always spawned here, so I got so used to ambushing these fellas. Yep, that's somebody else. Oh no, that's the rocket drone actually, that's the dragon. It becomes a non-issue this match. This is the other reason why I picked Assassin. I wanted to be able to use smokes. I'm a big knife guy, and my cradle is spec'd out to max knife. It's way more efficient than going loud. So just dropping smoke and knifing whoever gets trapped inside is my preferred way of dealing with mobs. I'm going to go up, and I'm going to drop down. When I rotate into quarantine, it's my preferred method of going inside there. I like that way better than going in through the doors, because sometimes you have those locked doors that make a lot of noise, or a ton of claymores. So again, I'm pulling out my B-77 with a scope just in case, sweeping back and forth. But one thing I also do is something I learned playing a lot of Splatoon. I don't tunnel vision. I actually scan left and right with my eyes when I'm pointing in one direction, just in case there's any movement. And I hear a whole lot of UESC marching around, so I'm just going to go on a knife and spree right now. Looking for some golden tickets. Sweeping back and forth. And actively listening to them walking around. I like to dash, then get up and stab him. And I'm looking at that guy down there. That's actually where the second part of this contract is. Right there. That's where I figured out I don't think I'm alone, and that gets confirmed in just a few moments while I'm doing this event. So that tipped me off that there's somebody walking around the building, and I'm a bit surprised when I find out who it is. You'll see in a little bit. But I like this, again, I like to throw smokes, knives out, and I just try to take care of all these UESC as efficiently as possible. Like, that guy's got his tongue in my mouth and he's not even doing anything. Okay, I go down here and I see an ammo crate. That tips me off that there was definitely somebody in here, so I'm thinking somebody was in here and they left, or this was somebody's spawn point. But again, my suspicions get confirmed very, very quickly. This is just about a minute of waiting for bots to walk in. That claymore is just in case the other player tries to walk up the steps, because it's the only way they can get inside here, since the other doors are locked. Okay, took out a UESC with that. I should have maybe gone invisible here. I don't think it would have hurt. But it's a non-issue. And I'm still looking for golden tickets. I think I only have 3 at this point.
Filter engaged.
Yeah, 3. Picking my exfil. That door is open too. Yeah, that door, that was my other clue that somebody's in here. So I'm just kind of going knives out because I can get health and shields back when I land a melee attack on UASC or another player. Again, no golden cookies. I still gotta be on the hunt for those. I almost considered opening that, but I know I'm not alone. So I'm gonna check all the remnants of the robots that I took out here. Yeah, I think that's just ambient zombie noises. I don't think that's a zombie that was triggered by another player. There we go, there's number 4. I need 5. Now I'm gonna hear footsteps to my left really briefly. Right there. It was very faint, but I think they were in the side hallway. And I'm just getting to see if the Grenadiers respawn here. Again, I may have missed any golden cookies on my first run, but I know that I'm being tailed at this point. And I'm kind of doing a fake out rotation here. And I had my battle pistol out just in case whoever was tailing me was right behind me. But I'm going back in. The reason being is that I want to find the set of footsteps that I heard. And then obviously get that 5th golden ticket. Now this could have been timed more perfectly right here. Absolutely what I needed. Yep. So now that I know that there's rifle UESC, I'm trying to be cognizant of the specific noise that they make when they're aiming at me. And know when to retreat, because that's what I do right here. I could have just easily tried to face tank everything, but I was about to die. I just take a moment to heal up and reset.
5 minutes remain.
I'm still actively listening to whoever was walking around on the first floor, because I suspect at this point somebody's going to try to hitch a ride with me on the way out, since it's been happening over and over again as I played this map on solo. So yeah, battle pistol out, 2 snipers. I'm just going to switch to B-77 and light them up. And if I was that other player, I would probably be very wary listening to the muzzle. The gun noise is coming from me. I don't know what the proper firearms term is. Okay, Grenadier down there. I threw another smoke just to be able to take advantage of turning invisible while I was on my cooldown. Because again, I don't know where this other guy is. Checking for cookies. No cookies. I did this instinctively. That was a waste of time, and that probably could have screwed me. I need to stop doing that and pay attention to my health. I also noticed that my mic is hot right now, because I was getting ready to talk some garbage if that person was going to make themselves known. Yeah, so I'm just like rotating. I'm just moving in and out of my smoke because I want that brief second of invisibility. I really didn't focus on grabbing any salvage or treasure this run. I just wanted to do this. Just wanted to do this stupid mission because it's been bothering me. Always been getting slimed at the last possible second on the way out. Again, I'm just double checking UESC bags. I should drop down on this hole over here. Now I can hear somebody aiming at me. I can hear UAC aiming at me on the left. Right here. Yeah. That's the noise to be aware of. And here we go. We're going to hear the other person running behind me in just a moment. They're also going to trigger the comms tower. Right there. I don't know if you saw me, or if it sensed me or the other player, but I definitely heard the footsteps to the southeast. And here we go. I got my 5e Golden tickets. I'm gonna hit this. I close the door behind me because I know this guy is here. And he's right behind me. My cooldowns are ready.
Camel filtering.
And I drop him. He's trying to heal himself. Wasn't gonna happen. I can't remember that coordinate data pad is just something that's found on somebody, because he intentionally dropped that. But he didn't really have anything. I just grabbed as many meds as I could, and I wanted to get out of there just because I had a minute 30 left. And I'm still being cautious. I'm still wary about rooks. I only heard 2 X-bills the entire time.
Pouring smoke.
When I was in greenhouse, the other 2 players in there never engaged one another. I never found any bodies, so I'm playing in smoke, taking advantage of the invisibility. The Grenadier is hucking his grenades, and I'm just going to use a Sig Jammer. Because again, I don't want to see a purple rectangle aiming at me last second and then just taking me out with 2 seconds left.
Time to hunt.
Jumping back into the smoke. And that's pretty much it. I try to be very pragmatic when I'm playing solos, and specifically doing missions.
Cover out.
But the big thing is just situational awareness, knowing when to stop when I'm rotating around, and constantly looking at how to be paranoid. Trust no one, and keep your battle pistol handy. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you.